The impossible planet. NASA finds a world that should not be there around a giant star. According to the Space Agency, the discovery shows that planet formation and destruction are likely far more intricate and unpredictable than many scientists have thought. The astronomers have discovered a seemingly impossible planet around a giant star some 530 light years away. The largest gaseous world, known as 8 Ursa Minoris b, or HALA, is orbiting Beck 2, a swollen red giant star that's very much undergoing its death throes. And based on measurements of how Beck 2 is oscillating, the researchers have determined that the star has already undergone a phase of expansion and contraction, one that would have seen it grow well beyond HALA's orbit. What is unclear, though, is how the planet managed to survive all this, when by all rights it should have been engulfed and ripped apart. The strange planet was identified in data collected by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Surveyor Satellite TESS for short, which finds worlds via the transit method. This involves looking for how stars appear to dim when an orbiting planet passes between us and them. The study was undertaken by astrophysicist Dr. Mark Hahn of the University of Hawaii and his colleagues, and they explain when main sequence stars expand into red giants, they are expected to engulf close-in planets. The close-in, the ones that closest to it. Until now, the absence of planets with short orbital periods around post-expansion, core helium burning and red giants, has been interrupted as evidence that short-period planets around sun-like stars do not survive the giant expansion phase of their lost stars, their host stars. In fact, scientists believe that with all this, Mercury, Venus, and likely Earth's final fate when the sun runs out of hydrogen fuel and begins to expand in some 5 to 6 billion years' time. Now, why do sun-like stars end up as red giants? At a modest 4.6 billion years old, our sun is effectively middle-aged and is kept burning by the fusion of hydrogen atoms into helium in the star's core. In around 5 to 6 billion years, though, the sun will begin to run out of this fuel. At this point, as the outward pressure of thermonuclear fusion begins to wane, the star's core will start to collapse in on itself. This will cause the plasma surrounding the core to become hot enough to start up helium fusion instead. The energy release will push out the sun's rays' outer layers, which cool and take on a reddish hue as it becomes the red giant. This process will see the sun expand to several hundred times its original size, totally engulfing the orbits of Mercury, Venus, and Earth as well. Who knows, maybe Mars. Now, Hahn and his colleagues continue there. Here we present the discovery that the giant planet 8 Ursa Minoris b orbits a core helium-burning red giant. As a distance of only 0.5 astronomical units from its host star, the planet would have been engulfed by its star. Standard models of single-star evolution, the team note, predict that Beck 2 would have expanded to a larger radius of 0.7 astronomical units. And they say, given the brief lifetime of helium-burning giants, the early circular orbit of the planet is challenging to reconcile with scenarios in which the planet survived by having a distant orbit initially. So to explain the seemingly impossible situation, the team have come up with two hypotheses. The first is that the planet is in fact the survivor of a merger between two stars that had previously been in close orbit of each other, with one evolving faster, going through its red giant phase and casting off its outer layers to become a white dwarf. This stellar remnant would then collide with the other star just as it reaches its red giant phase, stopping the latter from expanding further and sparing the planet. The second scenario, meanwhile, also involves a merger, but in this case, this violent collision would eject an abundance of dust and gas, forming a protoplanetary disk from which 8 Ursa Minoris b would have coalesced. The findings of the study were published in the journal Nature magazine. This is by Ian Randall on Express UK. please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.